1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Everyone out there in mandolin land, Mike Hedding here, coming to you today with the old bluegrass song, Jesse James, in the key of B, the key of bluegrass. We're going to crank up the speed a little bit on this one, and we're going to look at playing out of chord shapes. So using these classic bluegrass positions, and those are really important when you're playing faster. You need to simplify the song you're playing when you're playing faster. So working out of these chord shapes is going to allow us to stay in position, keep our right hand moving quick, and play the melody while playing it up to speed. So I'll break down the solo for the verse and the chorus note for note, and then show you 3 different ways you can do bluegrass chop chords in the key of B. I'll break that down as well. And if you're watching the preview of this lesson, you can head over to my website, MikeHeddingMusic.com, and grab the full lesson. You'll get access to watch the videos, and you can download the tabs and the practice tracks. All right, here's Jesse James in the key of B. All right, so let's start breaking down this lesson for Jesse James. Remember, we're in the key of B. So let's jump into the lesson, but first, let's look at some of the basic chord positions that we're using. I think if we get the chord shapes down that we're going to use for the lead, the song will make more sense. All right, so let's jump into the lesson. Okay, so for this song, we're going to work out of this classic bluegrass solo shape with our first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. You've probably done this scale before. So we're going up frets 2, 4, 6, 7 with all 4 of our fingers. And then we do that same thing on the next string up. Probably used that scale before. It's just the basic major scale in B. And then we can also go down to the 6th fret on the D string and the 4th fret. So those are going to be the main notes we're using for this song. And I'll show you the shapes that we're going to use. So for B, we have our first finger on the 2nd fret of the A string and our 2nd finger on the 4th fret. That's a shape for B that we're going to use, so 4 and 2. We're going to use 6 and 2 on the A string and E strings. That's another shape. So you have this one, you have this one, and then if you put your pinky on the high 7th fret on the E string, that's like another B. So those are like the main shapes we're going to use for that chord. For E, it's basically the same ones for B, but just now on the D and G string. So you have those same shapes, just up or down a string this way, down and lower in pitch. And then for F sharp, our 5 chord, we have 4 and 2 on the high A and E string. And then if you put your 3rd finger on the 6th fret of the high E string, that's like another F sharp. We don't use that one in this song, but it's a good one to know. And you also have 4 and 1 down here is another one. So those are the main shapes we're going to use. We're just going to be soloing out of this position. I think it's really important when you're playing faster to stay in position. We're not going to do as much like runs of notes or runs of a scale. We're really going to work out of these positions and just practice keeping our shapes down. That's why it's super important to know the shape. Okay, let's jump into the solo. All right, so let's play the first 9 measures of the solo. It'll be like halfway through the verse. Here we go. Couple times. And one time really slow. We're going to start with measure 1. We're going to start in this B shape, the 4 and 2 like I was talking about. We're going to play that on beat 2. So count beat 1, 1, 2, and then 6th fret on the D string, and then 2nd fret on the A. We're basically just walking up these notes. but we're just playing the first one as a double stop, playing 2 notes just to keep you in position. So again, we'll break down in the back of the chords, but you'd basically be in this position, maybe doing a strum, and then you go. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then right here, basically take this shape and move it down to the A and E strings, and we're going to do a 4/6 hammer-on with our second and third finger while having this shape down. So we're going to keep our pick moving, and we're going to go 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So down, up, down, down. And we're going to go. So we hammer on while keeping your pick moving, and then down to that shape. So you're just working this shape. And then we're going to go down to the 2nd fret and play 1 and 2 and 3. And then put your 2nd finger back on the 4th fret of the D string. So we have. So the most basic version of the melody would be. So all we're doing is just filling it up with picking. And again, like I said, we're trying to stay in this shape. 1. And then right here, basically the same move now on the D string. So this is for an E chord. So 2 or 4/6 hammer on. And right there I did. So don't worry too much about if you're hitting both strings. What we want to hear is. And then we're going to go back to the 4th fret. So we're just basically working this shape and then moving it down. That's all we're doing there. So not too hard. Let's try it again. 1. And then right here, 2nd fret and 4th fret. And then we're just going to do this little bouncing thing, I call it, is where we're just going to go. So normally the melody would kind of just hang out on that 4th fret, you know. But just sitting on one note's not super interesting. So what we're doing is we're just hanging out there and then bouncing to one note in the scale higher. That's all we're doing there. It's basically just a little way to hang out on a note and just make it a little bit more interesting. So we're just going. So down, down, up, down, and then 2nd fret again. So, and then slide your 3rd finger from 5 to 6, basically sliding back up. And just keep your pick moving. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then right here, measure 7, a little run. 2nd fret on the high E. And then 2, 4, 2. 6th fret on the A string. 2nd fret. So we have. Let's put those two together. So we have. So on a faster song too, I like to pick my spots to play a little run. So that's a good spot. So we're kind of hanging out on this note, give ourselves a little break, and then we're going to play a little run. And then right here, go back to 4 and 2 on the high A and E string, so that F sharp position. And again, we're now going to hang out again. Play down, and then down ups the rest of the way. And then that bouncing thing. So we have. So again, it's a mixture of hanging out on single notes, and then a little run, and then hanging out again. So let's play those first 9 measures. Here we go. Where I would do the accents is I would accent this first lick, and then accent right here, and then accent, accent, and then accent the hammer on, accent, accent, accent this little run, and then accent. So again, we're just, think of the shapes. We're using B, B, E, B, B, and then B with that little run, and then F sharp. So we're just using those shapes that we were talking about at the beginning. So that's all we're doing there. So again, I think of it in terms of the shapes. It'll be a lot less to remember. If you can remember these positions, you could even play something slightly different, and you're basically just working out of these shapes. And that's really important when you're playing faster, is not to get out of position, right? Okay? And then we go into measure 10. We're going to play that same opening melody line. So same lick. And then right here we just did this bouncing thing instead of just hanging on one note. So we just went. The important thing with that bouncing thing is don't do this. See, I'm lifting both fingers. Don't do that. Keep your first finger down. And then that E lick. And then slide up. And then this time just a little ending. So that's just that same F sharp lick with the bouncing thing we did. And then right here, a little run. So 2nd fret, and then 2, 4, 2. Keep your first finger down. Down to the 6th fret, 4th fret, and then 2nd fret again. That's just a little fill lick that's going to set up the chorus. So let's play that second half. We have... So not too hard there. So that's the whole verse part, okay? Into measures, that's into the beginning of measure 17.